Connecticut's news station starts with a weather impact alert.
Right now at 6, a wet start to the day out there. This is a view from the FOX61 storm tracker cruising out there in Vernon. Expect some icy spots out there. Several school districts have delayed openings, and those are running at the bottom of your screen. You can also find them on fox61.com. Kids in my house pretty happy this morning.
Yeah, a lot of delays, just playing it safe. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Tim Lammers.
And America Arias, thanks for being with us. While the snow is turning into rain, there may still be some slick spots out there if you're heading out the door, so please be careful.
Yeah, we're going to check in with our crew in the storm tracker in just a moment. Like you said, it's in the Vernon area. But as we get over to meteorologist Matt Scott, I'm wondering if the more slippery areas are probably the northwest, northeast hills, maybe?
Higher up around the bends. You know the drill. And the fact that you said the word some is why we sound the alarm. It's not a widespread event, thankfully. This is not a ice capade out there, which is certainly some good news. But still, we are dealing with a mess this morning. Still, that has been the active pattern. And still, there are more storms on the horizon. So it's a little icy, maybe mainly off to the north and west of I-84. We're focusing on the border from Vernon, Rockville, up towards the north, Stafford, Summers, all the way over to Union. The rain's going to linger through the morning, but the temperatures moderate, so it's less of an ice concern. But there's another storm on the horizon. We'll talk about that coming up. Winter weather advisories have been dropped for the shoreline counties. They're still in effect till through the mid-morning for the northern counties. It just says, hey, be advised, it's not terrible out there, thankfully, but it's not perfect out there, so be mindful of that. We're watching the temperature. Surface temperatures are near freezing. Some of you a couple of degrees below, like Winstead, New Hartford, but where it's 30, 31, Granby, Avon, that's enough for concern. We're not looking for widespread sleet, freezing rain. Just a few patches out there could really gum up the works. It's much better at the shoreline. It is only rain on I-95 over to the Merritt and the Wilbur Cross this morning. Cloud radar picture, there it is, and we'll show you that there is mainly rain on the shoreline. We'll focus for a second on the live radar and show you just about where that changeover is. I mentioned Granby down through Avon into the Farmington Valley. There you go. I mean, where Farmington down through New Britain, Newington. Again, this is not widespread activity. This is the radar saying, hey, things are a little questionable. That questionable forecast will get a little easier as we go through the morning. You'll see more green, less pink. That's certainly some good news. And then by about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, you're going to see just about the last of it come on through. By noontime, you'll see less of everything as we wind this storm down and get the skies to clear. Now, the winds are going to be kicking up, too. They already have a little bite to them, but later on today especially, that's going to take a chunk off of the numbers for the wind chill. Numbers moderating in the mid to upper 30s. Actually, that number actually continues well into the evening, which is certainly some good news in terms of wondering about black ice. That is certainly a concern for tomorrow, for Valentine's Day. We have the forecast for that. We also have a look at this next storm coming in this weekend. No rest for the weary. We'll talk about that coming up. 6:03, let's go to the roads and see if folks are heeding the caution and giving themselves a little extra time and going a little extra slow this morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are seeing our first crash of the morning, and it's happening along I-84, part of that area that you just mentioned, Matt. And it's happening out in Farmington, so let's go ahead and get you up to speed if you do have to head out that way. This is near exit 36. It's a 2-vehicle wreck on the eastbound side, and right now the right lane is closed. Speeds are down to 51 miles per hour. So let's take a look at what we're seeing out there. There's a couple drops on the camera, so it's a little hard to see, but we can see there is a pretty large response from first responders out there, and we can see one of the vehicles involved in this crash. It looks like they have also have some folks walking off to the side of the road out there, assessing something off near those branches, the tree branches over there. We'll keep an eye on this situation. Again, you can see the left lane is still open out there. Things are moving smoothly as folks are trying to get past this wreck. We'll have another update for you coming up in about 15 minutes. Please slow down and take it easy as you head out the door. Tim, Erica.
Yep, no reason to rush. Now, how slippery it is out there, that may depend on whether you've been getting rain, snow, or an icy glaze in the last few hours.
Yeah, Fox 61's Kaylee Collins is out in the Fox 61 storm tracker. It's in Vernon right now. And what's it looking like right now where you are, Kaylee?
Good
morning, Erica and Tim. Right now, there's a slight drizzle here in the Vernon area. You can take a look at the road conditions that we're dealing with right now. Mostly just looks wet out here. There were a couple of slick spots as we got off the highway and onto more of the back road area here. We did notice when we were traveling along 91 in both directions a bit earlier this morning that there were a couple of vehicles that had slid off to the side, and a couple of them had damage to them as well. So as Symphony and Matt and all of us will be saying throughout the morning today, just make sure that you take it slow, give yourself plenty of room between you and other vehicles. As you can see right now, there's not really a heavy volume here on the back roads of Vernon, but you're going to want to take it slow nonetheless and make sure that, you know, maybe you have some of that winter essential gear that we are always talking about when there's any type of inclement weather. Have a, you know, some maybe salt or sand in your back seat, hats, gloves, scarves, things like that, just if you have to be out and about this morning. As we did mention, there's plenty of delays for businesses and schools, so if you don't have to be out, you can just enjoy the time inside. We also have seen here in Vernon a couple of different plows out and about and trucks that were out salting, and it looks like the roadway here is salted pretty well, so we know that our crews, our DPW crews, are out working this morning and doing a good job at trying to make sure that the conditions are safe out on the roads. But you know the drill, take it slow, be cautious out there, and we'll continue to keep you updated on conditions as the morning hours continue. And I'll send it back to you guys over in the studio.
All right, Kaylee, thanks so much. Stay safe out there for sure. Well, as Connecticut experiences more rounds of wintry weather, people are apparently staying prepared.
Yeah, Fox 61's Stefan Reels checked back in with Cat's Ace Hardware in Glastonbury to see if this, third, fourth round of snow now is still causing a bump in business.
Hard to keep track, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to keep up with the demand. It's been crazy.
The last couple of weeks have been busy for hardware stores in Connecticut. Bob Krieger is the owner of Cat's Ace Hardware in Glastonbury, and he says the weather these past few weeks has been a turnaround from what the state has experienced over the past few years. And that means the race has been on to find enough salt in order to keep roads clear.
We just got like 8 pallets and half that's gone. I got another 8 pallets coming in.
By the end of the day, the shelves of salt were almost empty except for one bag, only slightly more full than this past weekend when the state braced for snow.
I think people are just getting tired of it at this point. I think they slowed down yesterday, but then they just picked up again today because I think people are worried about the storm and they don't know if it's going to be above or below the freezing point, and they just want to make sure they have it because whatever they used over the weekend is gone and now they need more.
But for people like Connecticut native Shay Benkowski, it's a typical New England winter.
This still feels pretty mild, to be honest with you. I'm used to a lot more snow.
The Colchester mom has treated this round of weather more as business as usual and is prepared to treat the coming day as normal as possible.
Mostly just I hope that it's safe for the commute to work as well as bringing my kids to school. Their safety is the utmost importance, but other than that, it's just, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Stefan Reels, thank you for reporting. Folks, make sure you got the Fox 61 News app handy. You can use it to track the latest conditions using the live radar, and you can get weather alerts sent right to your phone. Plus, you can check that updated list of closings, delays, and cancellations as they come in. Well, another big story here in Connecticut. A manhunt has come to an end. Connecticut State Police told us that a man accused of multiple road rage incidents turned himself in.
The incidents happened Tuesday on I-84 in Waterbury. It led to a manhunt in Southington. Fox 61's Sarah Sanchez has details from the arrest warrant.
This video, police say, is of Robert Misericordia, who has turned himself into police. Connecticut State Police say he was involved in this and other road rage incidents along I-84 in Waterbury Tuesday. In an arrest warrant released Wednesday night, we learned the first incident was on I-84 near exit 18 Tuesday morning. Troopers say Misericordia, driving an orange Honda Civic with expired plates, blocked another driver, then exited the Honda and rushed towards the other car with a machete. The warrant states he kicked the door and tore off a side view mirror. A short time later, police say another driver called them with a similar story.
An orange Civic came up behind me and clearly wanted to move faster than I did. I moved over. He got next to me, kept trying to run me off the road.
Allison McIntyre showed us the damage to her car.
There's a shoe print on the back of the mirror.
A third driver also called police, claiming a man in an orange Honda drove up beside him and pointed a gun at him, threatening to kill him. State police ultimately tracked down the car and Misericordia in Prospect. Take a look at police dash cam video showing the orange Honda hit a cruiser. The car speeds off. Police ultimately chased after. Police say Misericordia was driving erratically, sometimes up to 100 miles an hour. The Honda was ultimately found at a rest stop in Southington. Police surrounded the car, but he wasn't inside.
I don't want to say it came out of a movie, but it was a little interesting, but it was very scary.
2 schools were put into secure school mode, and some businesses took precautions during the search.
Got back, parked the car, and ran for the front door and asked anybody if they saw anything. They said no, so I said, let's lock down. Let's make sure we're safe.
Simsbury police say they're familiar with Misericordia, giving state police his current address and cell number. Police say he was uncooperative until Wednesday night. We've learned he walked into the state police troop in Southbury, and he's now facing 9 charges. He'll be in Waterbury Superior Court later this morning.
And that was Sarah Sanchez reporting there. You're going to hear much more from the woman who says she was a target of one of those road rage incidents. That's coming up a little bit later at 6:30 this morning. I knew this morning out of Hartford where people were forced out of their apartments after a fire. Now, this was the scene on Rowe Avenue. Crews say the fire started on the 2nd floor of the 3-story apartment building. Several firefighters were called in to put out the fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt. We don't know how many people need a new place to live, but we are being told that they are being helped by the Red Cross.